I've been swimming and coaching for over 2 decades. I've trained at nearly every level, from age group competitions all the way to national championships. And I've coached swimmers who've competed at stages they never thought possible. But today, I want to share a personal story with you. Not one about victories, but one about mistakes, about learning from mistakes that might sound familiar to you. Growing up, I thought training hard meant training as much as I possibly could physically. Doubles nearly every day, swimming tens of thousands of meters per week, because I thought that was what success required. It was hard, it was exhausting, and for a while, it felt right. But now, years later, I've noticed something strange. I'm about 2 inches shorter than every other male in my family. And strangely enough, there's only one other guy in my family who has similar height to me. And guess what? He swam doubles every single day too, piling on excessive mileage just like I did. Coincidence? Maybe. But recent research suggests otherwise. Today, I want to talk to you about something crucial to your swimming journey: overtraining and its potential effects on your growth, health, and performance. More importantly, I'll show you exactly how training smarter, not just harder, can be your greatest advantage. If you're tired of feeling stuck, burnt out, or frustrated that your endless hours in the pool aren't paying off, this video is for you. So let's jump in. For years, swimming culture has praised the grind. More is better, coaches would always say, especially when I was growing up. Thousands upon thousands of meters. It's ingrained in our DNA as swimmers. And sure, dedication matters. But let me be clear, there's a point where the cost outweighs the benefit. Here's the truth that might be uncomfortable to hear. Swimming endless mileage without proper recovery or balance training could actually be hurting your overall development. Not just your performance, but just your physical growth. I recently read a fascinating article from Swimming World magazine discussing the link between intense training loads, especially in teenage male swimmers, and stunted growth. So let's unpack that for a moment. So, what exactly happens when you overtrain? High volumes of training with insufficient recovery ramp up your cortisol levels. Cortisol is your body's stress hormone. When your levels are elevated for a long period of time, it can disrupt your natural growth hormone, especially during critical teenage development years. Now, don't get me wrong. Swimming doesn't automatically stunt your growth. Don't run away from the sport by any means. Proper training actually promotes a healthy lifestyle. The key difference is about balance. It's the excessive, relentless training without recovery or mindfulness that can cause the harm. I told you earlier about my own height in my family. Now imagine spending your whole teenage life training so intensely, thinking it's the right path to success, only to realize later on that the extreme regime might have had negative effects that impacted you physically. That's exactly my story, and I'm not alone. When I first heard about this, I resisted it. No way, I thought. More swimming means better performance. I had tied my identity as a swimmer and a coach to the intensity of my training. To question that was uncomfortable. But the more research I did into this topic, the more I understood that it wasn't just theory. There was some real science behind this, and to my real experience. There's nothing worse than investing countless hours into something, believing it's the right path, having coaches tell you this is what was needed to be successful, only to discover it was possibly harming you away from the pool. It shook my confidence as a coach and what I could have been as an athlete. It hurts knowing that if I had been trained properly, I could have been one of those taller swimmers, one of those bigger swimmers that may have reached an entirely different level of potential. But ultimately, it has given me clarity as a coach in how I can train the next generation of swimmers. I had a shift in my mindset. I realized success it wasn't about quantity, it was about quality. And that changed everything. So let's go a little deeper into why this all matters. Studies show teenage swimmers training more than 20 hours a week with insufficient recovery could be at risk of hormonal imbalances and growth disruption. Research found elevated stress levels directly impacted growth hormones and even immune function. This isn't just theory. Real world examples exist within elite swim communities. Many swimmers have quietly reported noticing slower growth or delayed physical development when compared to siblings or peers who didn't train as intensely. But remember, this isn't swimming's fault. It's how we approach swimming. It's the relentless grind without regard for smart recovery and balanced training. The good news is there is a better way, a smarter way. Here's what elite swimmers and Olympians now embrace as a smarter way to train. A lot of coaches and a lot of programs are now putting a priority on recovery. Very intense sessions must be balanced with proper recovery, whether that's sleep, nutrition, active rest, stretching, and mobility. More rest equals more performance. Technique over mileage. Swimming smarter means making each stroke count. Put a priority on quality over quantity. Instead of just grinding endless yards, use focused, deliberate practice to perfect your technique, your catch, your kick, and your streamline. Every stroke matters. Every stroke counts. Think about it. Would you rather swim 5,000 meters aimlessly or swim 3,000 where every stroke is intentional, powerful, and efficient? Which approach would you ultimately make you faster? The answer is simple. Quality always trumps quantity. And finally, you need to listen to your body. As a former swimmer, I know it can be hard. Your coach is telling you to do one thing, and your body is telling you another. Your body is sending you messages constantly. Fatigue, soreness, mood swings, loss of appetite, even trouble sleeping. These signals matter, and you need to listen to them. Then you need to communicate those to your coach. They tell you when you're pushing too hard. Listening does not make you weak, it makes you smart. Elite athletes aren't robots, they're masters of self awareness. They're attuned to what their bodies are telling them. Learn to listen. Let me share a quick story about one of the swimmers I know named Matthew. Matthew was talented, incredibly hard worker, focused on doing doubles every single day, chasing improvements relentlessly, goal setting all the time. But as weeks went by, months went into years, something was off. Matthew wasn't getting faster. He was stuck getting slower. His teammates were all getting bigger. He was frustrated, exhausted, and the passion started to fade. So we tried something different. We reduced his training. We added a lot of active recovery sessions. We focused on sleep, nutrition, and hydration primarily. At first, Matthew was nervous. He felt like he wasn't doing enough in the pool. But that resistance of doing fewer yards, basically matching what his competitors and his colleagues were doing, helped. By having that active recovery, Matthew started seeing the improvements through each of our sessions. By focusing on the workouts in an intentional manner, doing some training outside of the pool with weights and body recovery, he started to see the impact, started feeling better, having more energy. His mood was lifted. And remarkably, his time started to drop again. In fact, very, very rapidly. The lesson that Matthew learned here was life changing. The hardest workers don't always become champions. Just because you do that extra workout or go to the pool when nobody else is there does not mean you will be successful. You have to be smart in your training. You have to be balanced. Let's take this a step further. Training smarter means developing systems, small, sustainable habits, rather than chasing fleeting goals. Goals are exciting, but goals alone don't create champions. Consistent systems and habits do. The greatest swimmers in history don't get there by chance or luck. They get there by building a daily system of small, impactful habits. Things like stretching and mobility routines, hydration and nutrition plans, regular sleep schedules, mental preparation and visualization techniques, intentional recovery methods after each session. Think about your training as a puzzle. Small, consistent actions each day form pieces of that puzzle. Over time, these small pieces compound into something extraordinary, your best performances. Now I get it. Changing your training approach might feel scary. You might worry, if I reduce the volume, will I lose fitness? Will I fall behind my teammates? Will my coach think I'm lazy? These were all the same questions that Matthew kept asking. And those are valid fears. But trust me on this. I've seen hundreds of swimmers take this leap of faith, and I've never seen smarter training fail them. It might feel uncomfortable initially, feel like you're not doing enough, but the payoff is always worth it. Remember, discomfort now for success later is a trade worth making. Being smarter today means thriving tomorrow. If you're still watching, you're likely someone who values performance, health, and long-term success. You're ready to stop guessing, stop overtraining, and start training smarter. That's exactly why I created the Swim Accelerator. Inside the Swim Accelerator, we prioritize smarter training, technique improvement, purposeful recovery, intelligent programming, and mental preparation. These things aren't afterthoughts here. They're fundamentals to how we swim. You'll join a community of swimmers who once felt stuck, frustrated, and burnt out, who are now thriving, setting personal bests, and most importantly, loving swimming again. Listen, swimming smarter isn't just about faster times or personal bests. It's about more than that. It's about your physical health, your long term growth, and your mental well being. It's about protecting your passion for swimming so it can last a lifetime, not just a season. I share my personal story because I genuinely wish I had known this all sooner. I wish somebody had shown me a smarter way to train much earlier on in my career. Today, I'm giving you the chance to learn from my mistakes. Don't wait until you're burnt out or injured to start swimming smarter. Your future self will thank you. So here's the deal. If you're serious about swimming smarter, improving performance, and protecting your long term growth and health, I want you to take action right now. Below this video is a link to the Swim Accelerator. Inside, you'll get the proven strategies, the community, and direct support from me personally. Everything you need to swim smarter, not harder. Don't let doubt or hesitation stop you. If you're feeling stuck, tired, frustrated, or simply ready for a better way, this is your chance. Click on the link, sign up, and let's transform your swimming together. Remember this, you don't have to sacrifice your health to achieve greatness. You don't need endless yards to prove you're dedicated. Real champions swim smarter. Real champions build systems. Real champions protect their passion. It's your turn to join them. Let's dive in. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you inside the Swim Accelerator.